All right, let's do it. Time to explore Madrid. We're diving deep today using some sources you sent over.
Uh-huh.
We've got some excerpts from FlightNHotels.com. Sounds
Yeah.
like a pretty useful travel website.
Looks like it.
And a guidebook
Mm,
called Exploring Madrid, a comprehensive guide to the heart of Spain.
I like that. Yeah.
So I'm ready to uncover some hidden gems
Yeah, me
and
too.
get some practical tips.
I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, for experiencing Madrid like a seasoned traveler.
I'm excited.
All right.
So from what I've seen,
Okay.
this guidebook looks really thorough.
Yeah.
It does a really good job of capturing what makes Madrid so unique.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway?
Mm,
What makes Madrid stand out from all the other amazing cities in Europe?
right? The guidebook highlights this fascinating contrast you see in Madrid.
Okay.
It's a city where you can be walking past like
Right.
a centuries-old palace
No.
and then turn a corner and see sleek, modern architecture. And it's that blend of history and modernity
I see.
that seems to give Madrid its distinct energy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
A city that respects its past but isn't afraid to embrace the future.
Exactly.
Okay, so where does this guidebook recommend we start our exploration?
Well, it points us toward the Royal Palace,
Makes sense.
which makes sense,
Yeah,
but it's not just suggesting we visit.
right.
It's really emphasizing the historical significance of the palace.
Okay.
Back in the 16th century,
Mm-hmm.
King Philip II decided to move the capital of Spain to Madrid,
Wow.
transforming it from a relatively minor fortress town into the heart of a vast empire.
Okay, so the Royal Palace is like a symbol of that.
Yeah.
Pivotal moment in Madrid's history.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing it's not just any old palace either.
Oh, no, no, no.
What's so special about it?
Get this. The guidebook says it has over 3,000 rooms. 3,000.
Oh my God.
Imagine like the daily life in a place that massive.
I can't even imagine.
The comings and goings and the secrets those walls could tell.
Wow, that's not a palace. That's practically a small city.
It really is.
Okay, I am putting that at the top of my must-see list.
Good choice.
Now, I'm a bit of an art buff,
Okay.
so I'm curious about the art scene in Madrid.
Yeah.
Does the guidebook mention any must-visit museums?
Absolutely. It raves about the Prado Museum,
Okay.
calling it a treasure trove of European art.
Nice.
So you'll find masterpieces by Spanish masters like Velázquez and Goya,
Right.
but also works by giants like El Greco and Bosch.
Okay, so those are some big names.
Huge.
Let's say I only have time to see one or two things at the Prado. What would you recommend?
Well, you can't go wrong with Goya's black paintings.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
But honestly, you might be more intrigued by a lesser-known gem,
Oh.
the dog. It's this small, simple portrait, almost minimalist.
Interesting.
But the way Goya uses light and shadow
Yeah?
is just incredible.
Wow.
I mean, it gives you like a whole new understanding of his genius,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're familiar with his more dramatic later works.
Okay, I'm adding the dog to my list.
Good one.
I love discovering those hidden gems
Me too.
that often get overlooked in the big museums.
Right.
Now, after a day of soaking up art and history,
Yeah,
I'm guessing I'll need a break.
probably.
Does the guidebook mention any green spaces
It does.
where I can escape the city buzz?
It absolutely does.
All right.
It highlights Retiro Park as a must-visit for anyone who needs a bit of tranquility.
Okay.
Apparently, there's this beautiful Crystal Palace there,
Oh.
kind of like London's Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
that was built for an exhibition in the 19th century.
Cool.
It seems like the perfect spot for a peaceful stroll or
Yep.
maybe a picnic lunch.
Okay. I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it.
Yeah, sounds nice.
But I know we can't stay in the park forever.
True.
What about some iconic squares or plazas where I can get a feel for the heart of Madrid?
Well, the guidebook suggests two squares in particular,
Okay.
Puerta del Sol and Plaza Mayor.
All right, let's start with Prado del Sol.
Okay.
What makes it so special?
It's considered like the very center of Madrid, literally and symbolically.
Wow.
It's where you'll find the famous clock tower
Oh, yeah.
that marks the countdown to the new year.
Oh, okay.
But more interestingly, it's home to Kilometer Zero.
Kilometer Zero.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. What is that exactly?
Well, it's a plaque embedded in the ground,
Okay.
marking the starting point of Spain's radial road network.
Interesting.
Imagine standing there.
Mm.
You're not just in the center of Madrid.
Right.
You're at the point from which all roads lead outwards,
Wow.
connecting the capital to every corner of Spain.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder of Madrid's role as the nation's central hub,
Right, yeah.
a unifying force.
Exactly.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I love how a simple plaque can hold so much historical and symbolic weight.
I know, me too.
Okay, what about Plaza Mayor?
All right.
What's the story behind that one?
Well, Plaza Mayor is all about history, grandeur, and a bit of spectacle. It's been a marketplace, a bullfighting arena, a
Oh.
setting for royal coronations.
Wow.
Today, it's lined with restaurants and cafes,
Okay.
so you can grab a bite while soaking up the atmosphere
I like that.
of a place that's witnessed centuries of Madrid's history.
That's awesome. Okay, we've covered some of the big iconic spots,
Yeah.
but I'm always looking for those hidden gems,
Mm-hmm.
the places where you can really get a feel for the soul of a city.
Okay.
I'm talking about neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah.
What does the guidebook say about exploring different areas of Madrid?
Well, it actually dedicates a whole section to neighborhood highlights,
Ooh, I love that.
which is great.
Okay, let's start with,
Um,
where does the guidebook suggest we begin our neighborhood adventure?
it kicks things off with La Latina,
Oh.
which is one of the oldest districts in Madrid.
Wow.
Apparently, it's known for its labyrinthine streets.
Ooh.
I'm picturing like narrow winding alleyways
Yeah.
and tons of traditional tapas bars.
Ooh, tapas in a historic setting, count me in.
Sounds good, right?
Anything else that makes La Latina special?
Well, the guidebook mentions this massive open-air flea market
Really?
called El Rastro that takes place every Sunday.
Wow.
So like you can find everything there.
What kind of stuff?
Antiques, vintage clothing art, you name it.
A flea market? I'm always up for a bit of treasure hunting.
Sounds fun.
I bet you could find some amazing, unique souvenirs there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What about some historical landmarks in La Latina?
Yeah.
Anything worth checking out?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It mentions the Basilica de San Francisco El Grande,
Okay.
which is this grand neoclassical church with a huge dome.
Huh.
The guidebook says the dome is actually one of the largest in all of Europe.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah,
All right. La Latina is definitely going on my list.
good choice.
What's next on our neighborhood hopping tour?
Let's jump to a completely different vibe.
Okay.
Malasaña.
La Lasagna.
This is where the guidebook says you'll find Madrid's hipster scene.
Ah, the hipster haven.
Lots of independent boutiques, art galleries, and a really vibrant nightlife.
So we're trading traditional tapas for craft cocktails and vintage finds.
That's right.
I'm into it. What kind of art are we talking about in Malasaña?
It seems like it's a real mix.
Okay.
Street art, independent galleries, showcasing emerging artists, that kind of thing.
Cool.
The guidebook describes Malasaña as a place that's always buzzing with creativity,
I love that.
where new ideas and trends are constantly emerging.
I love that energy. It's like you can feel the pulse of the city's creative spirit there.
Exactly.
Okay, where to next? I'm ready for another neighborhood vibe check.
All right, how about we head to Chueca?
Chueca.
The guidebook highlights this area as the center of Madrid's LGBTQ plus scene.
Awesome.
It sounds super vibrant and welcoming,
Okay.
with rainbow flags everywhere, tons of trendy bars and clubs, and a real sense of community.
I love that we're getting to see such a diverse range of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
What does the guidebook recommend we do in Chueca?
Well, it suggests starting at Plaza de Chueca, which is kind of like the heart of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
From there, you can explore the surrounding streets,
Mm-hmm.
check out the shops and restaurants,
Yeah.
maybe grab a coffee at a sidewalk cafe.
I like it.
It definitely sounds like a place with a really strong sense of identity and pride.
Okay, Chueca is officially on my list.
Good one.
Now, I'm curious about a different side of Madrid.
Okay.
Is there a neighborhood that's known for its elegance? Maybe
Hmm.
some high-end shops or fancy restaurants?
Oh, for that, you have to go to Salamanca.
Salamanca.
The guidebook calls it Madrid's Golden Mile.
Ooh, a bit of luxury.
Think wide, tree-lined avenues, grand buildings, designer boutiques, the whole 9 yards.
What's the shopping scene like in Salamanca?
Well, the guidebook specifically mentions Calle de Serrano
Okay,
as a must-visit for fashion lovers.
got it.
Apparently, it's lined with all the big designer names. Prada, Gucci. You know, the drill.
Okay. I can already see myself window shopping or maybe doing some actual shopping. Now we've explored the traditional, the hipster, the LGBTQ plus friendly, and the luxurious.
That we have.
Is there one more neighborhood that might surprise us?
For a complete change of pace, the guidebook recommends Lavapiés.
The Vapis.
It describes it as a real melting pot of cultures,
Okay.
with a diverse population and a vibrant mix of ethnic eateries.
A multicultural haven in the heart of Madrid. I'm sold.
It sounds pretty cool.
What kind of food are we talking about here?
It seems like the options are endless.
Like what?
Indian, Moroccan, Senegalese, you name it.
Oh.
The guidebook says Lavapiés is the place to go for authentic flavors from around the world.
Hmm.
It also mentions some incredible street art.
Okay, Lavapiés is going straight to the top of my list.
Awesome.
I love experiencing that blend of cultures and cuisines.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
It's really fascinating how Madrid can offer such a diverse range of experiences, all within a single city. You can go from the historical charm of La Latina to the cutting-edge vibe of Malasaña to the multicultural tapestry of Lavapiés, all in a day's exploration.
Exactly, and that's just the neighborhoods.
Exactly. We've barely scratched the surface, but I'm already getting a sense of how multifaceted Madrid is.
Yeah, and don't forget, we still have to delve into the practicalities of navigating this amazing city.
You're right.
Transportation tipping, safety tips, all that good stuff.
Right now, we've got the inspiration. We need the know-how.
Exactly.
Okay, our virtual suitcases are packed with
Right.
Madrid must-sees
Right.
and those off-the-beaten-path gems.
Yeah.
But before we hit the ground running,
Mhm.
let's get down to the nitty-gritty of actually being there.
Okay.
What's the travel intel?
Well, this guidebook doesn't disappoint.
Okay.
It's got a whole section on practicalities, which is super helpful.
Perfect. So first things first, transportation.
Okay.
Say I've just landed at Madrid Barajas Airport.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most efficient way to get into the city center?
Well, it seems like Madrid has a really solid public transportation system.
Okay.
The metro is highly recommended.
Okay.
It's fast, affordable, and covers pretty much the entire city.
The metro got it, but what about those iconic red buses I always see in photos of Madrid?
Right.
Are those just for tourists, or are they a practical way to get around?
Those are the EMT buses.
EMT.
And they're definitely not just for tourists.
Okay.
The guidebook says they have an extensive network,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a great way to see the city while you're traveling between destinations.
I see.
Plus, if you want a more structured sightseeing experience,
Okay.
there's the Madrid City Tour bus,
Oh, yeah.
the hop-on, hop-off kind with commentary.
Cool. Okay, so plenty of options for getting around.
Yeah.
Now let's talk money.
Okay.
What's the deal with currency and tipping in Madrid?
Spain uses the euro,
Right.
so no need to worry about exchanging currency if you're coming from another Eurozone country.
Good to know.
And as for tipping, it's not mandatory, but it's customary to round up the bill at restaurants
Mm-hmm.
or leave a few euros for good service.
Good to know. Now, safety is always a top priority when traveling.
Right.
Does the guidebook mention anything about staying safe in Madrid?
It emphasizes that Madrid is generally a very safe city.
Okay, good.
But like any major city,
Yeah.
it's smart to be aware of your surroundings, especially in crowded areas.
Right.
It mentions pickpocketing as something to be mindful of,
Yeah,
which is pretty standard advice for any popular tourist destination.
right. Common sense goes a long way. What about language?
Sure.
Is English widely spoken,
Mm-hmm.
or do I need to brush up on my Spanish?
You'll probably be fine with English in touristy areas.
Okay.
But the guidebook suggests learning a few basic Spanish phrases,
Yeah,
not just for practicality, but also as a sign of respect.
I agree. A little hola and gracias can go a long way.
Definitely.
Okay, now for the fun stuff shopping.
Right.
What are some unique souvenirs I can bring back from Madrid?
Well, food is always a good bet. The guidebook recommends saffron olive oil and Spanish wine as classic souvenirs.
Those are good.
And for something a bit more unique, how about a hand-painted fan?
Ooh, a hand-painted fan. I love that idea.
Yeah,
And I bet those would make great gifts too.
definitely.
Okay, last but not least, packing essentials.
Right.
What should I absolutely not forget for my Madrid adventure?
Comfortable shoes are a must.
Good one.
Madrid is a city best explored on foot,
Makes sense.
so you'll want to be prepared for a lot of walking.
Right.
Also, the weather can be a bit unpredictable,
Okay.
so packing layers is always a good idea.
Noted. All right, as we wrap up this deep dive, I
Mhm.
have to ask, what's the one piece of advice
Okay.
from the guidebook or from you
Sure.
that you'd give to someone experiencing Madrid for the first time?
Honestly, I think the best advice is to embrace the Spanish lifestyle.
Yeah,
Don't rush, savor the food, enjoy those late dinners and tapas crawls.
I like it.
And don't be afraid to just wander and get lost in the charm of the city.
I love
Madrid is a place to be experienced, not just checked off a list.
Beautifully said. I think we've covered it all.
I think so.
The iconic landmarks, the hidden gems, the practicalities, and the overall vibe.
Yeah,
I'm feeling so inspired to book a trip right now.
me too. And who knows, maybe we'll even bump into each other at kilometer zero,
That would be awesome.
comparing notes on our Madrid adventures.
That would be amazing. A huge thanks to you for helping us unpack all this incredible information about Madrid.
Of course, my pleasure.
And to you, our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked your wanderlust and giving you the tools to plan your own unforgettable Madrid experience.
And
Until our next deep dive, happy travels.
happy travels.